Huddle rooms will never be the same now that we've introduced Rally Bar Huddle. And now you have two options to control your meetings. Let's take a look. Hi, I'm Craig Ishii with Logitech. So we recently introduced this device here, the Rally Bar Huddle. It's our newest addition to the Rally Bar family, designed for small meeting room spaces. Now, what makes Rally Bar Huddle special is that it brings the same robust feature sets offered by our Rally Bar, our Rally Bar Mini, and more to your huddle spaces. Now, for those folks who are used to rooms where you just walk in and plug in your computer to the camera and to the television, let's briefly talk through some of the features that come along with using this device. So Rally Bar Huddle is an appliance-based device, and that means that you don't need a separate computer to run the room. Instead, the computer is built directly into the camera. And so that means your setup and management is going to just be a little bit easier. Let's take a look at the back of the device here. You're going to just plug your power into the device, you're going to network it, and you're going to plug it into the television. But today I actually want to talk about meeting controllers. With CollabOS 1.11, you're now going to have two options to choose from for your meeting controller. Let's take a look. Okay, when we look at these devices from the top, they very much look the same. And that's intentional, because for the end user, they're going to want to get the same one-touch experience regardless of the device that they're using. But now I want to take a look at what's under the hood. So I'm going to start with the device here on the left, the Tap IP. So when I flip this over, this is our network device. You're going to just plug one category cable here from your PoE into the Tap IP, and you're all set. And again, it's worth noting that this device will be on your network. But we also have a number of customers who prefer a point-to-point solution, one that's tethered directly to their Rally Bar. And so now you also have the ability to use our Tap device with a Rally Bar Huddle as well. Now, the first important note here to make is that Tap is not a network device, whereas Tap IP is. So I'm going to flip over the Tap here. We're going to see it's going to be a little bit different under the hood. The Tap is tethered directly to your Rally Bar. And so with this Cat5e kit, we're going to run a category cable out of here into a PoE injector. We're then going to run another category cable from the injector to a USB dongle that plugs into one of the USB-A ports of the Rally Bar. And so you have two meeting controller options, different options based on different scenarios, but both are going to offer that same end user experience. Okay, now we've introduced the Rally Bar Huddle and our Tap devices, but I would be remiss if I didn't cover some of the features that Rally Bar Huddle brings to small meeting rooms. As I mentioned at the beginning of this video, there are a lot of folks who are used to that plug-and-play style of a room. You bring in your computer, you plug it in, and you meet. But there's a lot more that users and IT teams can get if they really embrace an all-in-one system. First, for the user, they're just not going to be required to run the meeting from their laptop anymore. They can just enter the room and join a meeting. And so we can see we have a few options here on both devices. I have one provisioned to Zoom and one provisioned for Teams. Here on the Zoom device, we can click New Meeting and start a meeting straight with this button, or I can join a meeting by ID. I can also, on the Teams device, click Meet to start a meeting directly from the Tap, or I can also click Join with Meeting ID as well. Now, it's also important to note that you can schedule meetings to specific rooms, and once you do that, the meeting will appear right here on the Tap device. And so we're seeing that here, we're seeing that here on both devices. And then, of course, while they're in the room, they're going to get meeting and camera controls. So I actually want to show you that live here. I'm going to start a new meeting on this device. I'm going to start a new meeting on this device. And here on the device on the left, if I click camera controls, we're getting manual controls. We're getting a multi-stream, which is going to pull individuals into separate gallery images. And we're also going to get auto framing that's going to frame the room. Here on the Teams device, if I click this drop-down for camera, we're seeing those same camera features. I can get the view of the room. I can also get composite view, which is again going to split individuals into separate gallery frames. And of course, as you're seeing from these devices, the interface that is going to appear on the Tap is really going to be an interface that your users are used to using. It's the same, or not same, but very similar interface and style that they're used to seeing on their computers. Okay, next let's talk about the advantages for IT administrators. First, let's note that Rally Bar Huddle is certified for Zoom rooms, and it's also certified for Microsoft Teams rooms on Android and Windows. So you really have the flexibility of choice. Administrators will also be able to fine-tune your device settings, things like tracking speed and camera zone, to make sure that your devices in the rooms are catered to the size and the type of room that it is. And perhaps most importantly, IT teams are going to get device monitoring, update management, and insights about the room and the device usage. And we also have enhanced support for secure enterprise networks. So that is Rally Bar Huddle with Tap IP and Tap now. It's essential that we help companies to understand the value that an appliance-based room can bring to IT teams and for end users. So be sure to check it out today and stay tuned to our channel for more videos on how Logitech is creating a new logic of work.